I need my mouse so I can do stuff as I'm talking to you. So, how's everyone doing? You like how festive I am right before Christmas? Or the video right before Christmas? Yeah. Yeah, I was again, like I said, you never want to be working and planning the projects you're doing for a Friday Night Live on Friday. So, yeah, at some point I will stop the blinking. I don't know if that will trigger anything with anyone, but yeah, so it's been kind of busy. Yesterday, if you had checked on, this morning I ended up doing what was it that I did this morning? Oh, I did my Throwback Thursday video, which was the festive friend. So I got all those projects done last night. It was kind of late. I just wasn't feeling on doing the video. I did it first thing this morning, and this came from Michael's. I mean, well, the earrings, these little dingly things. Okay, I got these at Five Below because I had to stop at Five Below to pick up an Amazon order from the locker in there. And then they didn't really have any headbands that were Christmas, but they did have one for New Year's that have like these disco balls on it. So I do have that for New Year's. And so then I had to go into Michael's because this is weird. I don't know why, but my Stampin' Up order that I had, I got a notification. Now I have my choice, and what that is, I pay like $20 a year for it, and I can have my packages redirected, and it's not going to cost me like $5.99 a pop to do it. And so because I can't really have anything, especially a Stampin' Up order delivered here, whether if I'm not here, I'm at work, I don't want sticky fingers getting it and then it disappears, and then I gotta go and call them and tell them, okay, I need it resent. So what I do is I have it redirected to go to a local UPS store. Well, after it shipped, I got a thing, was it yesterday, that told me that I needed to change it again because the UPS store couldn't accept it. You tell me you got that many packages that you didn't have room for my box? And I had to literally I had to go a little bit further travel wise to go and get it. But while I was in there, I did find this. There were snowflakes, I guess, that they lit up too. But yeah, so I saw this, and I mean, it blinks like this, but then it also blinks really fast. So I did it on the slower one. There's no option to have them to just stay on. But but yeah, so it was doing some quick running around just to kind of pick up a couple of things. And then I had to get back here. I needed to get these projects done. Now, there's nothing in the description um, other than there's the title of the video. If you noticed, I had just posted the thumbnail to the video. At least I got that picture of the whole group of the cards done. What I'll do is probably tonight after we have dinner, I'm going to then take individual pictures of these cards, and I'm going to write up the whole description stuff with any links and all that. And then I'll also work on the PDF, and I'll get that whole thing like done and out of the way. The projects are pretty simple. Definitely utilize the designer series paper in this suite, and also this paper, this designer series pack of paper does have like, um, what is it, four sheets? No, or two sheets of punch outs. So what's for dinner? Oh, it's gonna be leftovers. I had made spaghetti, or actually bow tie pasta and meat sauce in my Instapot last night. And then because we didn't really have much time today, tomorrow I'm gonna go and buy some veggies and stuff, and I'm gonna make a stew in my crock pot. So that's what's gonna be for dinner tomorrow night. Um, but But yeah, so I really utilize the designer series paper, the little punch outs that are in this. Now this whole suite is actually on the last chance list. I'm thinking, were the embellishments actually on there or no? Not 100%, not 100% sure, but I can quickly check, sign in. But yeah, it's been kind of crazy trying to get stuff done. So one of my coworkers, one of the things she did ask me about last every year ever since COVID started, and we had been working from home, I had made, desktop calendars, using that tailored expressions, tear off calendars. And so everybody likes them. So I still have to make those. And then those angels, that the angel I showed you that I made for the women's Christmas dinner, yeah, the leftover angels are still up at church. So they don't take too long to make. So I'm going to make one for everybody at work. Um, they're not going to get it until probably after the new year, because all of next week we have Thursday and Friday off, and then my coworker, she's gonna be off like 2 days, like the 2 days before that. I'm off on Monday, so I'm like, you know what? I'm not driving like, what, 15 miles or whatever it is to Sharon, um, to get there. So, and then, and payroll's going to be working from home all of next week anyway. So I'm thinking, yeah, I'm just going to be here. Why put myself through stress that I don't need to put up with driving from here to there? So I'm more relaxed when I'm at home. Actually, I'm a lot more productive when I am at home. And so, I mean, there's going to be things to do. So, Christmas Eve, I'm going to be going to my church, and they're going to do Christmas Eve service. And I will come back here and I would just kind of chill, and probably I'll find something to do. And then on Christmas Day, Yvonne and our hubby are going, oh, you know what, Yvonne? I got something missing off my shelf back here. Oh, the new Stitch thing that I got. The Christmas one. I think it's on the table. Can you bring it back? Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, so on Christmas Day, Yvonne and her hubby are going to come over, and we are going to be doing like just like a little mini Christmas dinner. We got a little turkey roast, and we're going to have veggies, and I'm going to make my stuffing. And yeah, there was a Stitch thing that I found in Five Below. And I can't resist. And it's a Christmas one too. And it's really cute. We did find they actually had an ornament. Actually got an ornament that's now on my tree. And I picked up an extra one because my granddaughter, she loves Stitch. Oh, he's too cute. Oops. Here, you can put that over there. Isn't he cute? He's so adorable. I need to find room for him. Gotta kind of move him around here. Move him, move him. Love me some Stitch. I gotta rearrange that, but he's just so stinking cute. Okay, so where was I? Squirrel. That's North Pole delivery. Oh, and in my order. Oh yeah, so this is the little ornament. Isn't he cute? So there's one that's on my tree, and then this is one for my granddaughter, so they put on their tree. Unfortunately, I don't think they're going to get it before Christmas, though. Um, but let's see, what was I doing? I was doing this. Okay, so um, looking at this. Okay, so it looks like everything may be on the last chance. Um, the stamp set. So if you decide that you want to get like the bundle, or if you want the suite or the bundle, just as an FYI, um, don't do the whole suite and don't do the actual bundle, because the stamp set is discounted and so are the dies. Um, everything, including the white fluffy trim, that's discounted and that's on the last chance along with the paper. And the only thing that's not going away are the deer dots embellishments that go with it. So everything else is on the last chance. I'm not seeing low inventory. When I add it to the description, I am going to separate. I'm not going to list it as a bundle. I'm going to do separate the stamp set and the set of dies, because you will pay less for it if you get it separate. But let's see. Oh, yes. Oh, darn it. Yvonne, I need you again. I don't think I brought my mail back here. Tracy, guess what showed up? I went to my mailbox. I knew my paper pumpkin showed up. It was delivered yesterday, and when I opened up my mailbox, your card was in there. It was there. It's very pretty. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Um, yeah, so that was in there. I have a whole box of cards that I have made over the years, and yeah, see, it actually showed up. Yay! So I will show that. I don't think I have gotten any other cards during the week. But as I get them, I will show them. I have sitting over here, like right over there, there is a whole box of Christmas cards that I have made like over the years. And so I have that, and then there's my sample cards from all of these videos that I've done. So I have a pretty good stash over there. Plus, I do have Christmas stamps, and I got my international stamps because I was down to one more. And luckily, the post office was pretty quick in delivering, because I always order my stamps online. There's more of a selection, because my post office half the time don't have any. So, and they're a pretty big post office. So I got plenty of stamps now. I just have to take the time to sit down and actually write them out and put them in envelopes and send them out. Which, the other thing I know too, tomorrow I got to pick up more envelopes from Hobby Lobby, and hopefully they still have them. And I see that I'm just like tilting down. Um, but yeah, so a lot of things are kind of happening, and I'm just hoping that I can get the stuff done, and then and actually just kind of sit and enjoy. Yeah, I did get like some little diamond painting ornaments that I'm kind of looking forward to working on. But again, it's just a matter of getting the things done that I need to get done. So next Friday, as a matter of fact, it's going to be new product that just came out. I will be using the Brushed with Beauty Suite. So that's in the bin over here. And then for next Thursday, which is actually Christmas, I believe, um, I'm doing a stamp set, A Child is Born. I don't know if that's still available or not, but that is going to be next Thursday's video. And yeah, and I think my first Thursday in January, I think I'm still going to use like current product for that too. And I think that's going to probably be the Aurora, Lights of Aurora suite. So yeah, the bin is emptying out which is a good thing because that's all stuff that's been completed and done. So my Christmas cards are going to be coming out to you guys. Hopefully I can get them out in time so you get it by Christmas or maybe just after, but I'm really hoping before the year is out that you got them. So I see that we got lots of comments here, so let me kind of go back and say hi to everyone. And so we have Froggy, and of course Yvonne's here. Terry, Carol, hello, hello, hello. Tracy, and Becky. Um, your question, Becky, is everyone ready for Christmas? I kind of noticed this earlier while I was trying to set things up, and I like Tracy's comment, like, nope, I think I'm canceling it this year. Um, okay. Yeah, I'm not even close to being, it's just time has been flying by so fast that, I mean, I'm lucky if I can get the things done that I need to get done. Let's see. And Cynthia's here. Hello, Cynthia. Um, let's do we, oh, okay. Okie dokie. Yeah, Froggy. Yeah, this I got from Michael's. I don't know. Do you got Michael's up there? Do. Chicken wings and potato salad. Um, hope Becky says, I hope everyone got their ornaments. I haven't gotten anything from you yet, Becky. Um, let's see. So I think I'm all caught. I'm all caught up. If you, I don't know if any of you had a chance to watch the video that I did this morning for my Throwback Thursday, but yeah, I think whatever could go wrong kind of went wrong. Um, have you ever used like the Stampin' Blends? Ooh, you have a Michael's near you, but it is small compared. Okay. Yeah, these I found these. These were up near the front of the store over by where they would have like the party stuff, like the colored paper plates and treat packaging and things like that. It was kind of like over in that area in one of those displays. Um, but what was I gonna say? Yeah, so I don't know if this has happened to you, but so I went to do the festive friends, there's coloring involved, and I went to color my was it one of the, I think it was the second card I went to color, and I went to open up the cherry cobbler, and not only did the lid come off, but the actual part that holds the tip, and I did that, and the little tube with the ink in it kind of went flying, so it splattered on my table, it splattered on my seal. Luckily it did not get on the card. And then when I went to go use the color lifter, oh yeah, that was so inky that when I opened it, it dropped a couple of drops of that liquid. Luckily that didn't hit my colored image, but I had that. Then it's like I go to stamp the last card, and it's like, okay, I was supposed to stamp off and I didn't, and it's like it was just a whole thing. I'm like, it's like I wasn't going to stop it. I wasn't going to recut things anymore and redo it. So it is what it is. I got through it. And so, yeah, so here's to hoping that come next week's videos that they're all done and prepped. So again, Christmas is on Thursday. And so that's going to be pre-recorded. Now, let me ask you guys this, and it'll determine what I do on Friday. So Friday is going to be Brushed with Beauty. So that is a new suite that I believe Brush with Beauty's in the new mini catalog, and it's not online exclusive. Um, the question is, I mean, will will you guys do you guys want to come and watch a live on the day after Christmas, or do most of you kind of have something going on? Because if most of you have something going on, you can't make it. Then I can pre-record it. I mean, it's all up to, if whether you guys, if you would be available or not. Um, you'll be available, Terry? Yeah. Okay. All right. I'll do it as a live then. Okay. So yeah, you can see that mess that's right above my head, the top of my calyx unit. How bad am I? That's my two lunch pails with Stitch on it up there. Okay. All right. So we'll do a live. It's Boxing Day here, so another okay. All right, I'll go live. I'll go live next Friday. Um Maybe I'll change it to 6 and do an hour earlier. I'm going to work and get this stuff done in time so it's all set and it's all done. So, okay, so I'll do the live, but I'm going to actually do it at 6 p.m. Central Time, okay? And I just got to remember I said that, so I got to notate that in my planner. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to flip this. I am going to show you Tracy's card. Also, in this order, hold on, I did get, what is this? The True Blue Florals Designer Series paper. So this is the Designer Series paper that is the product of the month. So I haven't even opened it up yet. So I've only seen pictures from online. Um, is online currently. Brush with Beauty is it online? Is it an online exclusive, or was it in the I think it was in the mini catalog. But either way, that's what I'm going to be using next Friday. It's not going to be, it won't be Christmas. All right, so let me go ahead and take this. Let me flip this and we'll kind of get started. Now, as far as like any announcements, I don't think there's really any other. Let's see. Um, nope, that's done. Product of the month still going on. There's the paper. I'm going to show that to you. The advent calendar, I think that's still available. Then there is the virtual card retreat. I did watch a video. What was it? A video that Sarah and Melody had done on what's included in this retreat, and just showed a sample of all the cards. So the paper that they're using on this, the designer series paper. So this is what I saw, because looking at this picture, so you have like a 12 by 12 of two-tone cardstock. So instead of having one side light and the other dark, they're actually, because everything is single-sided, and so they did a 12 by 12 sheet, a half of the lighter shade and then the darker shade on the other. That I think is for like die cutting pieces out. This bundle here with these set of dies, and then there is a coordinating stamp set. This is actually going to be new product that is going to come out maybe in the, I would think, the annual catalog. And then there is another stamp set that is exclusive to this kit. Now, the embellishments that they're using in this actually goes with a suite that is an online exclusive. I did get that, so that's going to be an upcoming video for that. And then the designer series paper that they're using in this too is exclusive to this. It's not going to be available later on. Everything is single-sided because on the back side of it, it does have like some cutting marks on the back, like what size that you need for doing the cards. And then there's a couple of flip flaps. So all these cards are like they're fun folds. So it seems interesting. Um, I'm still on the fence as to whether or not if I'm going to purchase this. I do have some Stampin' Rewards that I can put towards it that does bring the price down a little bit. So we're gonna see. Um, we'll see what happens, but that is opened up, and this is going to happen on January 22nd and the 23rd, and it'll go from 2 p.m. to 9 p.m. Mountain Time. So that is what, 7 hours? Yeah, there's no way I'm gonna sit there for 7 hours. Besides, I'd be working those days anyway. So, but and to go to 10 o'clock at night here, yeah, I'm probably it'd be one of those things I would go back and watch it. So, still on the fence regarding that. So, um, that's pretty much all there is. I haven't seen any new stuff really on the website at all. So that's pretty much it. Now, like I said, I did get my paper pumpkin kit. The what is it? The watercolor and bloom, I think is the name of it. So I think that may be on Sunday. I may record that. So okay, so the card that I got from Tracy, I actually love this paper. This one that had the Santa Claus on it. I love the patterns. I love the colors on it. And so, um, I love this ribbon too. I did get a couple of rolls of this before, it went bye-bye. And so then it opens up like so. So a very cool fun fold card. Love it. And I hear someone's phone going off, but she's okay. It's not too loud. All right. And then I'll just go ahead and tie it. Tie the bow. And when I was standing in line at the post office waiting to go get my paper pumpkin, I was at the counter and I was just like, I opened up my envelope and I looked at my card and then tied it all back up pretty and all that. So thank you so much, Tracy. Love it, love it, love it. All right. Now let's get this party going. All right, so like I mentioned, I'm going to be using the North Pole deliveries. Everything in this suite is retiring. It's on the last chance list except for the embellishments. So for this bundle, you have the stamp set. Love the flying cat on here. Has some mixed fonts on here and some really nice greetings in it. And then you have the dies that are going to die cut your stamped images. And then there is also a die in here that's going to die cut a little box that you can put some cards in. And then you have three different shaped pieces that you can do as kind of like your flap to hold the box closed. Now, my plan was I was gonna die cut the thing just to kind of assemble it and show you what it looks like. It was not going to be like a project that I would mail out because this, I don't know how this would fit in an envelope. It could be bigger than the envelope itself, but um, I I think I ended up using maybe one no, two of the dies in this set for the cards. Again, I was kind of like under the gun on trying to get it all done in just a few short hours, but I got it done. There's also this, what is this? This is the white fluffy trim. So you can't really tie a bow with it because the back side of it, it's not fluffy on the back. But I managed to incorporate this in one of the cards. Actually, I think the last card I made that I found a place to put it. These are the deer dot are in green pool party, petal pink, and poppy parade. And then there is the designer series paper. And I did get another pack of the paper in this order. So this paper is really cute. You know, and actually, let me take these off and let me turn them off. Oh, are you kidding me? Hold on. They do stay on, but it didn't want to stay. Okay. It didn't want to stay on before. It was just blinking. Huh, okay. Um, but yeah, this paper has all these really cute critters. Some of these images you can die cut or fussy cut if that's your jam. But it does have a couple of sheets that do have some cutouts in them, and you get lots of them. So you got a sheet that's got a bunch of critters on it, and then the other sheet has like mailboxes and some of the storefronts and the buildings and all that in it. So very, very cool paper. And so before I get started, I'm going to open this up and we're going to take a peek at this paper. I didn't even get a chance to look at it. Actually, I didn't even really get a chance to look at any of the stuff that was in the order. A lot of it is, there are a few things that were on the last chance list that are going away. But there is some new stuff too. So Valentine's Day is coming up, and so at church, you know, we do collect treats and things like that that we um, distribute to a women's shelter and also a children's home. And I always make a whole bunch of little treat bags, and then I also make little cards that has Stampin' Up said anything about getting new scissors? No, they haven't. And I'm really, really surprised because I figured that that scissors would have been something that would have came back like really, really quick. So I don't know, mate. Hopefully by the time the new annual catalog comes out, there'll be some scissors. I wouldn't think it would be too difficult, you know, to have scissors, you know, available. So, all right. So there's two sheets of each pattern in this. So again, all the colors, only two colors that are in here, well, unless you include white, is Night of Navy and Balmy Blue. So it's different shades of those colors. So there's one side of it. And there's the other. Yeah, there's one thing that these paper snips, they are sharp. They are little weapons, actually. I do have a few pairs over the years. I have gotten a couple of pairs of them. I got one dedicated to like ribbon and trim, and then the one for paper. And then I have a couple of other ones that I would use for basically anything, maybe like cutting like dimensional sheets and stuff. So there's one side, and there's the other. So I definitely see where I'm going to have some fun with this paper. I do like this paper. Like I said, purple is my number one favorite color, but the blues and the aquas are a very close second. That's a nice pattern. That looks like it'd be Night of Navy, and you can tie Misty Moonlight in with that. And then yeah, blue's your boyfriend. Didn't you say black was too? I think you said that one time. Yeah, I think Terry Terry, didn't you already get this? I think you did. I think during last week's live, I think you said you went and placed an order and got the paper. So you get that one. And then here is the last pattern. So pretty. And of course, you know what's going to happen because this paper, you know, being product of the month, it's limited to one per person, so you can't buy any more. So, yep, I think this paper is probably going to get hoarded a little bit, but I have been getting better on using my paper. All right, so let's get started. Let's start putting some cards together. Let me kind of move some things out of the way. Let me take a sip of water. So come January, we'll see, early January, we will see what the new product of the month will be. And if this month is still available, you'll still be able to get it. Let me just make sure I'm straight here because it don't seem like I am. And I don't know which direction I'm turning this. Okay. I think I just made it worse. Okay. It's very, it was very windy here yesterday. Very windy. Oh, I know what I do need. I put it over here. So I didn't even get a chance to do, again, do the type up for the description, with dimensions and all that. So I got my ruler here, and that way I can let you know what sizes these pieces are. So I'm starting off with a piece of basic white thick for my card base, 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4.25. I have a piece of garden green. I believe that this is going to be 5.25 by 4. I have a piece of that, is it North Pole Delivery? Is that what it's called? North Pole Delivery? Yep, North Pole Delivery Designer Series paper. This measures, I believe it's 5 1/8 by 3 7/8 of an inch. So it's going to leave a little border of that garden green behind it. Then out of a scrap piece of garden green, now I brought in like 3 different sets of dies. In addition to the set of dies that go with the bundle, I have the stylish shapes using textured notes and also perennial postage on these projects. So with the stylish shapes, I die cut one of the circles out of garden green and then a smaller one, the next smallest one in basic white. And then with those little punch outs on those pages that they have in the designer series paper, I punched out a few of these critters. So there's a squirrel and a possum. Yeah, oh my gosh. I just forgot what that is. Um, ch no, chipmunk. And then of course I had to use the flying cat. Had to I had to put that in one of the cards because I just think that is the cutest. So this image with a cat with the antlers and it's flying, it is also an image that is in the stamp set that you can stamp and then color in. And you got the bear, a dog, and I guess that's another bear right there. And you gifts and you got little paw prints. So yeah, so you can stamp it as well. All right, so let me kind of slide that aside and let's fold and burnish our card base. Yeah, it was when like last night we were Yvonne and myself were back here and I couldn't make out at first if it was like an airplane flying by, but it was actually windy. I think the day before we did get some rain and it was a little bit chilly, but come next week, it's actually supposed to get this on Christmas. It's supposed to get up to like 70 degrees. Why? It's Christmas. If anything, let it snow on Christmas. But no, no, we're gonna. This is kind of like taking me back to when I had to move, and I actually moved on Christmas Eve and Christmas Day, and it was in the 70s. But I remember Christmas Eve, it was very windy that day. It was like hurricane force type winds. All right, so I'm going to take my designer series paper. I am going to adhere this to my garden green piece. Thank you, but this is one set I don't have. Yeah, this, yeah, everything, like I said, the bundle, the stamp set, and the set of dies, they're discounted. The paper is discounted. I think even this fluffy white trim is discounted as well. All right, so the way that I have incorporated the fluffy trim. So can't exactly really tie a bow with this. So really the only thing you can do with it is kind of just adhere it to your card. Just kind of like stick it down. So to stick this down, I am going to bring in my tear and tape. And I got my block, my sharper edge block here that to kind of tear my tear and tape straight at the very end. So I'm going to take some of this, I'm going to add it to the very bottom of the designer series paper. So just I'm showing that garden green underneath it. So kind of press that down and then go right to the edge there and we'll tear it. Yeah, nope, Mother Nature doesn't. I mean, actually, at one point, the lights did flicker later in the evening while we were still awake. Oh, let me grab another one. But it didn't go out, so that's a good thing. All right, so I'm going to use my Take Your Pick tool. I'm going to remove this paper backing. And then I'm going to take my fluffy trim here. I'm going to line it up to the edge of the designer series paper and kind of go across. And this is going to hold it down. So that tear and tape is pretty strong and it adheres it very well. And then I'm going to trim, kind of line it up with the paper. And just, whoops, and just snip it like so. And this will fray pretty easily, I will say that. Oops, come on. I'll trim it down a little bit. So there is kind of like our, I guess you can say, snow on the very bottom there. And let's put these away because I don't think we need the scissors anymore. Okay, so when this is well, when it's off the roll, you can see that it does kind of twist and turn. So let me go and put my, okay, where'd it go? Okay, we need to make sure we find this pin because we do not want this pin to fall on the floor, especially when it's a carpet. And if I walk back here barefoot, stepping on that would not be pleasant. I can tell you there wouldn't be very pleasant words that would come out of my mouth. So yeah, let's not let that happen. Okay, so now I'm going to add adhesive to the back of this, and we'll layer this onto our card base like so. And I'll press down here so we don't have it unravel at all. Okay, so I'm going to set that aside for a minute. I'm going to bring in my basic white stylish shaped circle. I'm going to bring in my piercing mat. And then I'm going to bring in the greeting that says, hoping this Christmas is the most magical yet. So this, again, very simple card. Really using the designer series paper and these little punch outs from the paper as well. All right, so then I'm going to stamp this in Poppy Parade ink. I like Poppy Parade. It's a nice bright red. Make sure we're inked up really well. And make sure I'm in the camera, and I'll just stamp that right in the middle. Okay, we'll set that aside. Put our stamp over there. And let me actually clean it, minimize the staining on the stamp. All right, now let's set this aside, and we will adhere this to our garden green circle. Okay, center that like so. All right, and then I'm not going to pop up this piece, since I'm going to pop up all those little critters on this card. I'm just going to adhere this right down right here in this upper left hand corner like so. All right, and then let me get some dimensionals for our critters here. And I will put these on here so I can see them a little bit better. Do I have all of them? I think I do. Okay. Dimensionals. Let's see. I don't think I need the little ones. Let me get the bigger ones. Oh, 4.5 months. Wow. I know that time is going to come by. It's going to be really quick. Because I don't know about you guys, but it just seems like time has been flying by so fast. All right, so we got our cat. All right, so now let's bring in our card, and we're going to take our cat. I didn't even take that paper off. And we're going to place our cat right up here, like so. And then we got our owl. I love owls. Oh, get off my finger. Okay, so we're going to put him like right over here like so. And then let's see. We have our little chipmunk. Let's see, which way does he go? He goes this way. And then we got our squirrel. And he's going to go like that. I know it looks a little like much. It's like all kind of condensed. And then where I'm going to put my my hedgehog. Let's see. Is that what I call? Did I call him possum before? No, that's a hedgehog. Yeah, he's going to kind of like sit up here. I know it's going to look a little weird, but it's an open spot, right? Okay, so now my embellishments, where are those dots? So for this one, I'm going to use the petal pink ones. And I'm going to add a couple of the smaller ones. Put one kind of like up here, and then a larger one. Let's see, right down here. Okay, so there is the first card. It's a little bit of stamping, but really using that designer series paper and then the little punch outs. So there is our first card. Okay, so now our second card. All right, this one too, utilizing the die cuts and the designer series paper on this one. Okay, so for my card base, it is basic white thick, 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4. My piece of Lost Lagoon, this is 5 1/4 by 4. Now, Lost Lagoon is not one of the colors in the paper, but when you look at some of the images, it looks like that could pass for Lost Lagoon. Okay, and then the designer series paper. This measures 5 by 3 3/4 out of a scrap piece of Lost Lagoon. Again, I used the stylish shapes. I used a larger circle, die cut that, and then I used another size just below that one, and I die cut basic white. Then out of another piece of basic white, this label right here, this comes from the textured notes set of dies. Die cut that. And then this is also one of the punch outs from the designer series paper. So if you look at some of the shading of, I mean, it is like Pool Party, but it looks like Lost Lagoon is kind of mixed in there as well. So that's why I went with Lost Lagoon. All right, so we're going to fold and burnish this. And bone folder. And then we're going to adhere our designer series paper to that Lost Lagoon piece. All these critters driving. Okay, and then we're going to take this and we'll adhere it to our card base. If you notice, before I came on here, I did add that link up at the top of the chat box for the card giveaway at the end. And if there's anyone new here or whatever, if you're having any issues at all trying to access it to add your name, just say something in the chat box and we'll get your name added. All right, now I'm going to take my white circle and we'll adhere this to the Lost Lagoon piece. Center that like so. All right, and then I'm going to take my house here and my dimensionals, and we'll add some. Now, I'm not going to put any like on the very bottom of this because it is going to overlap that greeting piece. So I'm going to put that like so. All And then I'm going to line this up kind of like the top, right there at the top of that white stylish shaped circle. So kind of center it, but have it up near right where that stitching is. Okay, so let me set that aside, and actually let me put some more dimensionals on the back of this because we'll pop this up too. Okay, so I'll just set that aside like so. Get my pierce mat. And then for this one, I am going to use Merry Christmas and Happy Wishes. And we're going to stamp that with Garden Green ink. So let's put that on the block. Garden Green. Move that away. And when I stamp this, I'm going to center it, but I want to be on the lower part of the die cut because that top part is going to be tucked under that house a little bit. Okay, so there's our greeting. Get that out of the way. And the button on my shirt keeps on rubbing on the side of this table. So I don't know if you guys hear that over with the microphone or not, but sometimes I don't realize I'm that close and then I move and it kind of scrapes and makes a noise. All right, so now let's take our circle here with our house on it. I did get those all off. Yep. And I can, well, we'll leave it on there. And then I'm going to place this right about here. I can move it down a little bit. Bring it down right about there. And then on our Merry Christmas greeting, I am going to add a little bit of my seal up near the top here, and then down in the bottom of these two corners, I'm going to add a small dimensional. So, all right, and then we're going to take this and hopefully I get it straight. And I'm going to tuck this under the house a little bit and then just stick that down like so. Okay, and then for the embellishments, I'm going to use the garden green dots on this one. So we'll take a larger one, I'll add it right there. And then a little one. And another little one right up there. Okay, so there is our second card. So this paper, I mean, you can definitely get a lot of cards done with just the paper and those punch outs, and just do a few different greetings, and there you go, you got a card. All right, now our last and final card. So this one, there was a little bit more that was done with this one, but it came out super, super cute. This is for all you dog lovers. And again, I think Poppy Parade and Pool Party are two colors that I think go great together. So now this, I did use the perennial postage dies for die cutting out some of the layers for this card. So Poppy Parade card base, 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4.25. I die cut, I believe this is the largest perennial postage die. That's die cut out of basic white. a piece of pool party. Now, the way that I measured the pieces that are going to layer on top of these postage dies, I measure the die, so from the flat edge to the flat edge. And so this is like 5 inches across. And then on this direction, it's 3 3/4. So then what I did is I took a quarter of an inch off. So I not die cut, I cut my pool party. What was this? So it was 3.5 by, and I said this was 5, so 4 3/4. So then that leaves a little bit of a border of that postage die around that piece of the pool party. Then out of a couple of the other postage dies, I die cut these out of Poppy Parade. So I got 3 of them there. And again, for the layers that will go on these postage die cuts, I measured it the same way from the flat edge to the flat edge, and then I took off a quarter of an inch. So I have a piece of the designer series paper that has the mailboxes on it. This measures 2.5. Ooh, this one was kind of odd. So this is 16ths. So it is 1, let's see, 2, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So 1 11/16 of an inch across. Another piece of that designer series paper. This is like 2 1/16 by 1 3/16. And then a piece of basic white. This measures 1 by 7/8. We're going to stamp on that. And then I also stamped the dog and the letter. Now, the stamp for the letter, it does include like another letter in it and 2 packages. So this is one stamp right here. And then there's a die that will die cut all of these out at the same time. Okay, so that's all my pieces. Let's go ahead and get started. So we'll fold and burnish this. Ooh, wow. Wait. Oh, okay. Oh, wow. That's a lot of mix in a dog. But wow, okay. All right, so there's our card base. Okay, then I am going to take my pool party piece here, and I'll get my Pierce mat and my pool party ink. And then there is a stamped image, a stamp in here that kind of has like a compass type image in it. So we'll pull that out. We're also going to pull out our greeting, which is a special delivery. I think that's this one right here. Yep, special delivery. And that's all we need because I already took care of stamping the dog and the letter. So what do I need? I need some blocks. So we'll put that one there, and then we got our special delivery. Okay, so on here I am going to randomly stamp some of these compass images on here. And come over here. Now a lot of this is going to be covered up, so I'm trying to put these in places where you'll actually see them, kind of like popping out from behind. Okay, and then I'm going to leave that aside because we're going to use that again. And then on this little piece of basic white, I'm going to use my Memento Tuxedo black ink. And I'm going to stamp my greeting right in the center of that. Okay, special delivery. And I'm going to try and ink this up where I'm not getting ink on the block. And then we're going to center like so. So it just fits right across. Okay, so we're done with that. And then let me bring in the scrap piece of paper because I want to stamp off on this compass image. And I actually want to bring this in too, because we're going to kind of be stamped off. So I'm going to ink this up really well. And I'm going to lightly, so that at least that way you can see it, because if I just do a regular stamp off, then it's going to be so light you're not even going to see it. Okay, so there is a little greeting panel there. All right, so that is all the stamping that we're doing on this. We'll kind of get this out of the way. And now let's kind of put all of our pieces together. Oh, and we are also going to color that dog as well. All right, so I'm going to take my piece of Pool Party. I'm going to adhere this to my white perennial postage die cut. And then I'm also going to adhere this then to my card base. So I'm going to do it on here so that way I make sure I can see the whole shape of that die. Okay, so I'm going to line that up like so. Okay, and then we're going to adhere that onto our card base like so. All right, so I'll move that out of the way. And then we're going to add some adhesive to the back of our special delivery. If I can get my seal to work. Why is my seal not working? Okay, and then we're going to pull in our smallest postage die here. And I want to get that centered. Slide it over. Come on. Okay. Press that down. And then on this piece, I'm going to take 2 dimensionals, wherever I put them. So on this side, the right side, I want to add 2 dimensionals over here. And then I'm going to add some adhesive over onto this side because this is going to overlap on a piece that's going to be popped up. All right, then my larger one here, I'm going to adhere the Designer Series paper with the mailboxes on it. Like so. Okay, we'll set that aside. And then our final piece here, we're going to add our Pool Party panel of paper. And we'll center that like so. Okay, and then we'll set that aside. And now we're going to do some coloring. So we're going to color in our dog and our little letter here. So the colors that I'm going to use are the light and dark Poppy Parade, light and dark Crumb Cake, and then the light gray granite. So the light gray granite, I like using that when you want to do like the shadows on white. The thing is with gray granite, it is actually lighter than the light smoky slate. So I just want to add a little bit of shadow on that. And then this little letter here that he's got in his mouth, I'm going to add a little bit on that as well. And of course it will dry a little bit lighter, so just going to see a faint coloring with that. Okay, and then I'm going to start with his sweater. Or actually, let me see. I'm going to use the brush tip on this. And start with my dark. And okay, so that's where that kind of ends. And I'll get my light. Fill that all in. And not go crazy on the blending because I don't want this red to kind of like bleed out. Okay. Then I'm going to start with my light. This is the light crumb cake. And color his whole body in. Right. Oh, I forgot the color on the sweater. I'm going to have to go back and do that. Okay, let me do that really quick. Let's see. Kind of go under. Fill it in. Okay. And then I'm going to bring in my dark crumb cake. And I'm going to add where my shadows are going to be. And then I'm going to go over this then with my my light crumb cake to kind of just blend it all out. Okay. Oh, and we're going to do his nose with the dark crumb cake. All right. Okay, there we go. Oops, don't do that. We don't want to mash that. Okay, so there is our cute little doggy. All right, so now let's kind of place all of these pieces down. So this panel here is going to be popped up. So let me go ahead and add my dimensionals to that. I can just put one on there. Okay, so I am going to just kind of place this where I want it. And then this panel here, we're going to adhere this down with our seal. And so I'm going to kind of have this straight on my grid paper, kind of have this where I want it to be. And then this is going to get tucked under just a little bit, like right here. Okay, and then we'll pop this up. Yeah, Poppy Parade, I will say is definitely a red that I like. I like the brightness of it, but then I also like Cherry Cobbler as well. Hi, Enika. Often than not, the ink bleeds over the lines. Yeah, you try not to, but yeah, it happens. All right, so then we'll take this and we'll add that right there. And then our greeting piece, let's take off these paper backings. We'll add that right here. I just want to make sure I got it straight. Okay, so we'll add that right there. Our dog, we will pop him up. So I'll add that. And then I'll get a small one for his head. Okay. And then we'll place these. Andrea! Okay, and then we're going to place our cute little doggy right here, like so. And then for our little letter, I'm going to add a little bit of glue just on the bottom part of this. And then this is going to go right up here. That's too low. Right there. Okay, now we got one more thing to add to this. We're going to add a few of those deer dots. And this time we're going to use 3 of the 4 colors. So I'm going to take one of my larger party ones and I'll add that right there. And then a large garden green. Am I still in the frame here? We'll put one there and then one of our smaller Poppy Parade ones. So there is our final card, and we've done really good on time too. There we go. There's the 3rd card. I really think that the pool party goes very well with that Poppy Parade card base. Just love how that came together. So you have options with this whole suite of product. You can create your cards primarily using the designer series paper like I did on a couple of them. So this is our 3rd card. We did a little bit more with this where we did more die cuts and did some stamping and coloring on this one. And then our 2nd card that we did, we again used some of the punch out pieces well, just one of the punch out pieces from the designer series paper and used another pattern for the background. Kind of really like the way that this came out. You know, when I look at this, it's like in a way it's kind of busy, but then at the same time, it came out really, really cute. And then the same thing even with this 3rd one, using kind of the pattern that has like the houses and the storefronts. And then just again, these are the punch outs that are in the paper. And then I did utilize that fluffy white trim on the very bottom of the card just to kind of mimic some snow. So again, I love owls, I love squirrels, and then you got a chipmunk, and then you also got a hedgehog there, but definitely had to do the flying cat because I thought that was just really, really cute. So again, the dies to this bundle, it will die cut not only like these images right here, but it'll also die cut some of the images that are in the designer series paper. Also in the set of dies, there is a sheet with there's a die in here that you can make a little box to put like a mini little card in there. My plan was that I was going to die cut one of these so I can show you what it looks like all assembled. You do have like 3 different shapes. You got a circle, a star, and a heart that you can actually lock into the top part here to where you can have your little lock closure to close up the box. So really small. I don't even know. I don't think you can even fit like a note card size, just like something a little bit smaller than that to put into that. Okay, so there are our projects for tonight. Sorry, I got here a little bit late. Again, I should know better to not be, planning and designing and all that the same day I'm doing a live. I'm hoping that this is the last of the year that I'm going to be doing that because I will have some time away from work to where I can get things done. So again, I'm going to tidy up just a little bit. If you would like to be in tonight's card drawing for one of these cards, I do have pinned up at the top of the chat box the link that will take you to the Google spreadsheet where you can add your name. And if you have any issues at all, just please say something in the chat box, and somebody on here will be more than happy to get your name added onto it. Like I said, I'm just going to tidy up just really, really quick here. So I have some room. Like I mentioned at the very beginning, if you weren't here at the very beginning, um, I don't have the stuff in the description yet, like the card measurements and all that. After I have dinner tonight, I will be taking care of all that. I'll also put together the PDF for these projects. I'll get that out there as well. I did get I did get the thumbnail picture up there, so at least that's a good thing I got that up there at the last minute. Let's see, I think I got everything here. Let me just move this. And again, so next Friday, I also mentioned that next Friday I will be live the day after Christmas. I will be featuring a new suite of product, the Brushwood Beauty Suite. And instead of going live at 7 p.m. Central, I'm going to go live at 6 p.m. Central instead, so an hour earlier. Let's see, I think. And then for on Christmas Day, I will have a pre-recorded video of A Child is Born, that stamp set. And then my paper pumpkin, I did pick it up from the post office today. So I believe it'll probably be Sunday that I will put that video together and post that as well. Let's see. Let's see what we got here. Oh. All right. So we got Cynthia, Becky, Froggy, Terry, Sharon, and Tracy. Is there anybody else? And let's see. I don't think I need that. Okay, Yvonne, no. Unica, would you like to be added? Hey, Froggy, Sharon. Am I missing anybody else? Sharon, Becky. Whoops. Going too far. Okay, I can get you added. Okay. All right. So I think I got everybody. Cynthia, Becky, Froggy, Terry, Sharon, Tracy, and Enika. Okay. All right. So let me move these, put them kind of in order that I have done them. And I'll go ahead and I'll take all the names and I will add them to my wheel of names. All right, and then I will unplug, kind of move these lights out of the way, and I will bring my thing in like so. And I'll bring my little container here that's got all my little sticky notes with names on them. These will go out, as a matter of fact, these cards will go out in tomorrow's mail. Christmas cards, they are coming. Like I said, I got a whole box full of cards here. I got plenty of stamps, so it's one of the things I'm going to take care of this weekend. And by the latest, I'm hoping to get them all out in the mail on Monday. Okay, so looks like we got everybody. Let's go ahead and spin this wheel and get it all going. Sharon. Which card would you like, Sharon? You kind of see the cards. Number 3, okay. All right, so let's slide those out of the way for a second. We'll go to our next one. Ooh, it just crossed the line. Terry, which would you like? Would you like card number 1 or card number 2? You still with us, Terry? I think she fell asleep. Oh, why is my thing spinning? This thing shouldn't be spinning. Don't be spinning. Terry, going once, going twice. You're not here. We got to move on. Yeah, she could have fallen asleep. Yeah, I noticed that. I saw it on the screen that it spinned a little bit there. But it looks like it's all okay because things are still moving along on here. Okay, so let me do this. Let me spin again. Becky. We got, well, we got these two cards. And let me go back to the video. And let's see. Which card would you like, Becky? Would you like this first one or the second one? Number one? Okay, the one with all the critters on it. Okay, so then our card. Let me kind of move that out of the way. And let's spin one more time. Inika. Okay. All right, guys. So let me go back and all right, so let me now move this out of the way and we'll kind of wrap things up. So again, thank you so much everyone for bearing with me being a tiny bit late. At least you guys had a nice conversation going on before I finally got on here. Thank you for joining me. Again, if you like the projects, please give the video a thumbs up. And if you're new here, think about subscribing, hit the little notification bell. It'll let you know when I go live or when I upload another video. So this weekend, I will be working on doing my video for my paper pumpkin kit for the month of December. And then next Thursday, on Christmas Day, I will be doing A Child is Born. That will be pre-recorded. And then the next day on Friday, I will be live an hour earlier at 6 p.m. Central. I'll be featuring a new suite called Brushed with Beauty. What else? Again, if everything that's going into the description of this video, like I see things are getting pixelated here. I don't know why, but it needs to stop. And I see it's kind of like bouncing in and out. Um, the other thing, so like all the description stuff with the measurements and everything, I'm going to work on that tonight after I have dinner. Then I'm also going to work on the PDF, and then the PDF will be uploaded. And again, that link is just above the list of supplies. And that's got there's well over 90 PDFs out there, free to download. Um, Other than that, everybody have a very blessed Christmas. Enjoy your time with family and friends. And I will see you here the day after. So, again, Merry Christmas, everybody. And you have a wonderful rest of your weekend. And I will see you later. Bye bye.